Have you ever noticed that women in long-term relationships start to turn oppressive? Some might even call it abusive. Now, I'm mostly joking about this, but think about it for a second. Just ride with me for 1 second. Have you ever noticed that when men and women date, heterosexual men and women date, initially, they're both trying to put on their best face. They're both men and women. They're both trying to present their best sides. They're dressing nice. They're smelling nice. They're trying to be punctual. They're laughing at each other's jokes. They're trying to be agreeable. Or for men, sometimes maybe they're trying to puff their peacock feathers and show off and stand out and really get her to notice him. My point being, though, is that in the beginning of a relationship, there's the initial, getting to know each other, honeymoon period, where both sides are nice and agreeable. And then something happens after about, it's different for each relationship, but tell me if I'm wrong. Something happens after about a year between men and women where these big, strong, testosterone-filled, aggressive men who we got to worry about, just might do anything. In these long-term relationships, they start to, many men, not all, I'll get to some of the other ones, but many men start to express signs of PTSD. They start to show signs of being abused. Like, if you took the gender out of it and you showed the actions and the responses and the feelings of group A and group B, and then you were and you showed it's an expert panel or a therapeutic panel or something, and you were which side, A or B, shows signs of being abused or being an abuser. I'm telling you, men, please, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm off base. This is not really for women, but you can comment as well. But please tell me, men, am I onto something a little bit? What do you think? But something happens after about a year where men and women, they leave the honeymoon period. So both of their standards drop. They both stop being as agreeable. They both stop, being as freshly, crisply dressed. You know what I'm saying? They both stop trying to present their best foot forward. Maybe you're sleeping over now and, you're not brushing your teeth in the morning. Whatever. My point is you go from trying to show your best face to hey, this is who I am. You still love me? You still like me? You still want to be with me? And then something happens after that where men start to feel a little bit abused. In a certain body language, in a certain tone, women many times in their relationships basically are saying to men, shut the fuck up. What? The fuck you just, what? I'll beat. And so men, how many times have you heard men say this? Please, someone comment and let me know. Am I telling the truth? Am I preaching to the choir? Or am I off base? How many times have you heard men say this in long-term relationships? Dude, I just don't want to hear her mouth anymore. I just, whatever she needs. I'm sorry. I should have done this. I'll take accountability. Whatever you need me to do, please tell me the script. Please give me some direction. Will you please just stop abusing me? I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. Something happens in a relationship where men start to show these signs of and a lot of times it's men that's not trying to leave their relationship. They actually really do care about this woman. She's a good woman many times. Not all the time. But this is a good woman. I actually really do care about her. She makes me look better. She helps make me better. So I'm invested in her. She's invested in me. But goddamn, if every day, shit, there's something else I didn't do right. There's something else I fucked up at. And women act like, in this new day and age where women are becoming more empowered and taking on more responsibilities and leading more families and such, Some women act like their shit don't stink. Like they don't fuck up and make mistakes. But I made a video about that. Go check the channel playlist. Check out that video where I talk about we want women to progress. We want women in leadership positions. We want women to be able to rise. But please don't get it confused. Women fuck up as well. They're no different than men in that they fuck up as well. So, but that's another separate video. But anyway, in this video, what I'm saying is men sometimes... Now, to speak on the group of men who don't act abused, who don't show signs of trauma, who don't just want to do whatever and be accommodative so that they don't have to hear her speak negatively. A lot of these men would be characterized as abusive themselves because they don't care about what she thinks. They don't cater to how she feels. They just do what maybe these men are the breadwinners, the vast breadwinners in their relationship. Maybe they come from different cultures, whatever. But maybe there's substance abuse issues, like I said, whatever. But anytime we see a man that's essentially like, I do what the fuck I want to do. I don't care about what you think. I don't care about how you feel. That man is viewed as like a caveman, a Neanderthal, you know what I'm saying, abusive. That woman should get out of that relationship. He should become more understanding or she should get the fuck out. But when it comes between men and women, often when women are like, this is the fuck how it is, this is what I will and when I do, this is what the fuck you will do. A good man is a man that like recognizes her value but still deals with the abuse. I don't understand that. I've said this in other videos. Some men stay in relationships and that's a good man, but day by day, year by year, decade by decade, he's just withering. He's just melting away because nobody really gives a fuck about how he feels. That's terrain that men don't, we don't win on that battlefield very often. Nobody really gives a fuck about how we feel. So he's a good man. He stays in that relationship even though he's just being beat down. But the moment he sparks up and says, you know what? I got to go where the sunlight is. I got to go where there's fresh soil. I got to go where there's, fresh water. Oh, you abandoned her or you left her or you didn't recognize the value of her. It's still fuck how you feel. I'm going off on a little tangent, but my point being is something happens in a long-term relationship where in the beginning, the man kind of feels like, okay, like she feels my value. Like, okay, like she looks forward to seeing me. Like, okay, I make something positive happen in her life. And then they get in a relationship, they're exclusive now. No one else exists, or when we're together, whatever the level of the relationship, but we're in a relationship now. And there's still a honeymoon period. We're like, this relationship, who knew we could be here? Or, I knew we could get here, girl, I was chasing you. Boy, I was chasing you. Whatever the fucking circumstances, but you have the initial dating period, and then you have we're a couple, and it's the honeymoon period. And then something happens after that, usually around the year mark, where both sides start to drop their standards, but in particular, women start to become oppressive, even abusive, in that the standards that they want men to live up to, men can't expect that same standard back. And so men, and seeing that this is a good woman, seeing that this is a woman that's positive in my life, or maybe if they were raised a certain type of way that's like, hey, hear her out. Try to be understanding. Try to recognize her perspective. You had a mom. You got sisters. You had a grandmother. Don't be that oppressive caveman. And all he wants to do is make peace. And if something happens where in his desire to try to plug the gaps, to try to be who she wants him to be and just make the peace, at some point in time it switches to a slightly oppressive, abusive relationship. And if that man barks up and says something or rejects it or, bites back, because the narrative, the foundation has been set in that particular relationship. Like I say, it's not for every relationship, but the foundation has been set in that relationship that she gets to let off some steam about you. She gets to call you out on you being stinky, on you not looking good, on you gaining weight, on, your fuck ups, your shortcomings. But you can't do that for her, because if you do that for her, that'll hurt her feelings. That'll be oppressive, like that you're even poking and prodding her feelings like that. Like, why would you do that with someone you care about? But in the beginning of the relationship, we either, those jokes, those topics were off limit, or we're so loosey-goosey with it, we're friends, we don't really have anything invested in it, that we can fuck with each other about certain stuff. But something happens after the dating period, after the honeymoon, somewhere after about a year. Like I said, even in good relationships, this dude loves this woman, or this dude really likes this woman. He wants to remain in a relationship with him. And this woman wants to remain in a relationship with him. But goddamn, if she's not like, oh my God, I got a checklist of the different things that this motherfucker needs to change. But if he comes at her and says, yeah, I was going through my checklist of you. Checklist of me? That's abusive. But yet, you could be at a party amongst family, different ways in which she might check you or correct you or state her opinion about something. She gets to do that. Because maybe before, women were not allowed to do that. They had to stay in their place. Perhaps. But something happens within the relationship where, like I say, that man who before was either like, I don't know you, I don't have a relationship with you, I don't care about you in that type of way. So relatively, I'll say whatever's honest about how I feel. Once he starts to care about her, now he can't say it anymore. He can't be honest about how he feels. She can express in different ways, honestly, how she feels about him, but he can't express in different ways, honestly, how he feels about her, because it'll hurt her feelings. In the beginning of the relationship, like I say, when they didn't necessarily know each other, or when it was just the beginning phase, dating phase, no one wants to offend the other person. We're dating. We're trying to hook up. We're trying to see what's up. But I don't know you shit. You don't know me shit. So if reality, if honesty comes out, let it come out. Let it be. Then you reach the honeymoon period where it's like, okay, well now, we don't want to fuck up the honeymoon. Anybody who's ever got married or whatever knows that concept. Like, we got married, we did this. Now we're on a honeymoon. Let's not fuck up the honeymoon. Come on, dog. Like, we got plenty of time in our marriage. Let's not fuck up the honeymoon. So in the honeymoon period, you still kind of holding shit back. You still not really being honest. You still putting on that best face. But after the honeymoon period, I'm telling you, dudes, let me know what you think. Even ladies, let me chime in and let me know what you think. But something happens after about a year. It's after the honeymoon period, whenever that ends, where women feel the freedom, and they should. They feel the freedom to say whatever the fuck they want to say to this dude. Corrective, embarrassing, putting this shit out there, whatever. And they can laugh and giggle and just kind of be like, oh, baby, I didn't mean nothing by it. Or sometimes it's like, no, motherfucker, stop fucking up. Get your shit together. Why am I the person that's carrying this? Why am I the person that's, But that dude can't be honest the same way. He can't be honest the same way. So not only is his honesty muted, if he's a progressive dude, if he was raised a certain way, if more than likely he's a Gen-Xer or younger, I'm a young Gen-Xer still in my 40s, so more than likely if he's younger than his 40s, he's probably going to be raised in a world where it's like, no, you're supposed to try to understand where she's coming from. Try to be accommodative. This is a relationship. This is a two-way street. There's two people and two perspectives here. But within that dynamic, it's like, but hold on, but see, if you just let me, and the dude is like trying to get his words out there, or he's trying to convey his emotions, no one gives a fuck. No one hears it. So at some point, he has to bark it out. He has to shout it out. It has to come with testosterone. And now he's what? Threatening. Aggressive. Which is borderline abusive. But she can fully call you out. She can fully tell you where you fucked up, how you fucked up, how stupid you look while you was fucking up. Giggle and laugh it off, kind of. And you should just really just hear what she's saying, I guess, and try to like get your shit together. Or she can just completely go off on you. And like I say, she can raise her voice. She can get angry. She can throw things. I know in some of my relationships, and all my relationships have ended on good terms. But in some of my relationships, not to give you too much personal detail, I know me being, football player size, 6'2", 235, couple of muscles. Sure, if I get a little bit animated, if I raise my voice, if I feel a certain way, if the eyebrows come down, that could be viewed as threatening or aggressive to some people. I can get that. But I'm telling you, some of the times where I've been more legitimately worried at times when women have been angry. Women in relationships or moms dealing with kids. I have legitimately been more worried when women lose their shit than men. Because when men lose their shit, I can either deal with it, or deal with it. You see what I'm saying? I can either physically square up, I can go get that tool, or I can make a call. Cops, reinforcements, whoever. You feel what I'm saying? Men get that. It's like, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. Like, when you've got a woman, especially one that you care about, but when you've got a woman that is losing her shit, you can't square up with her. That's not right. You ain't supposed to be doing that, right? You can't pull out the tool on her. And if you even think about calling reinforcements, cops, somebody to hear your side, none of that shit works. People will laugh at you. Man, you calling me because you got to deal with your bitch? Are you fucking serious? Man, handle yours. So your boy's not going to come over. Her girl's not going to come over and take your side. No impartial people going to come over. No cops is going to come over. You just got to deal with her losing her shit on you. And so for some men, like I say, some men raised differently, different cultures or whatever. They're like, you out your goddamn mind raising your voice to me. You out your, who the fuck you think you're talking to being corrective? Like, you get in the backseat. Matter of fact, get in the fucking trunk. I'll come back and pick your ass up. Some dudes is like that in relationships. Some dudes is like that in their cultures. You know what I'm talking about. And yet there's some women that like that. Another story. But my point being is men and women know. You know. Whether it's righteous, whether it's just making up for the patriarchy, whatever. Men and women know. Be honest with me. Let me know in the comments. Something happens after the dating period. Something happens after the honeymoon period. Once they are fully locked in as a couple, usually after about a year, women start to become abusive towards men. And it's ironic because it's the men that care about them that they're abusive to. The men that still don't really give a fuck about them, like, I'm fucking you, maybe we living together, we got some type of relationship, but I still will leave your ass in the drop of a dime. Women still, like, kind of watch their mouth a little bit a lot of times. But it's the dude that's like, no, baby, you the one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to give you that ring, or just like, it's me and you, I don't see nobody else. And after a certain period, I'm just saying. I'm talking shit, mostly. But let me know what you think. Tell me if I'm wrong, off target, or if I hit that motherfucker right in the bullseye. But holla at your boy.